this is 4.2. We're actually changing the name. I got rid of the letters. This is going to be 4.7 on composites. Composites is probably the broadest group of materials because it can be so many different things. So it's an important material in an intensely competitive global market. Are replacing more traditional materials as they can be created with properties specifically designed for an intended application. Examples of composites: carbon fiber has played an important role in weight reduction, so we can make vehicles, aircraft, and in this case, bathtubs. Doesn't that sound fun to sit in a bathtub with little carbon fibers? I hope they coated it well so you don't have little carbon slivers. Carbon fiber can be made in a bunch of different ways. You can have fibers, you can have sheets, you can have particles, and you can have a matrix. The process for producing some of these things, there's 4 processes you need to be familiar with. Weaving, take a look at the 4 pictures. Which one would be weaving? And it's this guy on the bottom left. What about molding? Which one of these is molding? Would be this one over here. Pultrusion. It's kind of a giveaway because this is the pultrusion process. And lamination. Concrete is a composite because it's a mixture of different things. Concrete is a combination of gravel, stone, and cement. There's almost always some kind of a glue or an adhesive, and in this case, it's the cement. Engineered wood. I'll show you 2 examples here. Manufactured by binding or fixing the strands, particles, fibers, or veneers of boards or wood together with adhesives, forming a composite material. So we're talking about veneers. We're talking about these thin layers of wood put together, and there's lots of adhesives included in there, which makes it a composite. Or if we look at something like the Trex decking or other companies that make similar products, it really is plastic and sawdust put together. Plywood. Manufactured from thin layers of wood called plies of wood veneer that are glued together with adjacent layers having their wood grain rotated 90 degrees to one another. They usually come as a sheet. So you can see all the different layers in there. It looks like there's at least 5 layers in that top board right there. Now by putting their grain layers 90 degrees to one another, alternating between layers, it's stronger one way than it is the other way. So if you alternate layers, you're getting strength in both directions. Particle board, also known as chipboard or MDF, which is medium density fiber board. Manufactured from wood chips, sawmill shavings, or even sawdust. Synthetic resin or other suitable binder, which means glue. Pressed and extruded. So it's squeezed together and then extruded probably through some compression wheels. Fibreglass. A type of fiber reinforced plastic where the reinforcement fiber is specifically glass fiber. The glass fiber may be randomly arranged, could be flattened into a sheet called a chopped strand mat, or it can be woven into a fabric, similar to what you see in these pictures. And the reason I put this pool down here, this is a fiberglass pool. So it gives you an idea of what we might want to make out of fiberglass. Kevlar, a synthetic fiber of high tensile strength, used as a reinforcing agent in tires and other rubber products. Protective gear such as helmets and vests. It's very difficult. It's so strong, it's very difficult to break through the Kevlar. And so you can see this person is using a knife right on their glove. Bulletproof vests use Kevlar because even though the bullet will hit them and can still break ribs and cause a lot of pain, it's very difficult for a bullet to penetrate through a sheet of Kevlar. Carbon reinforced plastic. What's the difference between this and carbon fiber? I have no idea. Carbon fiber reinforced plastic is very strong and light and expensive. Laminated veneer lumber. This is going to be very similar to plywood, but the applications tend to be different. An engineered wood product that uses multiple layers of thin wood assembled with adhesives, typically used for headers, beamers, rimboard, and edge-forming material. Usually comes as a beam. So you can see this does look different in the applications. These are headers up here. The applications are different than plywood. International-mindedness. Many composite materials are expensive to produce, and their dissemination globally is limited. Why? Because some countries have a lot of money and some countries don't. We've talked about that. Aim 1. To increase the productivity and lose weight, carbon fiber parts are often glued together. The use of an epoxy adhesive rather than traditional fastening methods allows manufacturers to create complex shapes quickly and easily. Okay, epoxy is a very strong adhesive glue type material. It's actually doing a chemical reaction when it sets. But I threw this garage flooring treatment. That is an epoxy-based treatment. So if you're like, I don't even know what epoxy is, maybe you've seen a flooring like that. Okay, and this is how they would do a flooring. Now this guy right over here, this little stormtrooper, has a carbon fiber outfit, and he's pretty sure he's smoking a cigarette. That's not appropriate for high school. We should end this. Okay, over.